Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Today we are going to try a different thing with the panel microphone sound, because some people kept saying about the echo and latency because there's something on Google's side of the system. We decided to connect the Google Meets microphone setup. Ow! Rusty, put your claws away. Come on up here. Oh, these we have a different setup of sound today for the panel. Only affects the panel. It doesn't affect anybody else. What we did was we connected the Apple's input, which is for mono microphone, into the FX Send connection on my mixer, so that I can adjust their volume more precisely to prevent blowing everybody's ears out in the process over there. Yeah. So you're gonna hear back online again. Anyway, so let me switch manually over to the camera here. And so what's going on is we are experimenting with some new approaches. Sorry about the crash, guys. It happens. Go away, to get down. Anyway, so the thing is, let me turn my virtual camera so we can see it. And so for the panel, you guys are going to notice the sound is going to be coming a little differently now. Okay. I don't know how well it's going to work. It might be too distorted. It might be too loud. No, right, it's too loud. I can just turn it down at the board independently of the other volume control. So we'll try to see if this works. As far as where's my chat screen? Right there. Oh, okay. Hit open, share on the screen. I hate when things crash. Oh. So, as far as the thing called the infinity window, I love that when you do that on purpose. What do we mean by the infinity window? Well, there's an effect you can do called the infinity window, which is kind of like using some old 1970s glass mirror experiments, where you have a mirror reflecting on a mirror, on a mirror, on a mirror. And we could do the same thing with software too. It gives it kind of a neat effect to it. So it's a pretty cool effect when it's done, carefully, and doesn't look too crazy. But some people have no idea what that means. That's okay. Did you have a time to look at that the cord dumping port? I didn't have time to look at it alone because it was in the risk of things going. It sounds like OBS is trying to activate something in restricted space of the computer memory. Yeah, I saw something about that before once. How you doing, Nora? Welcome to the show. Yeah, welcome to the show. One of the things is that we are going to be seeing is some new tonight is going to be World of Warcraft night with me, Human Body, Gidgey, if she wants to play. We're playing Turtle WoW. Right now, I believe I am still in Stormwind right now. Or maybe I'm back in Goldshire again. I think I might be in Goldshire. I get confused. I'm in all these different places at once. All these different places. It's kind of like the song for me by the Beach Boys. I get around. I've been, in the game, I've been going to different places. Boxchick says correctly join the channel. Well, that's good, Boxchick. Now, are you going to do your job today? Because I'm kind of really Boxchick. I'd like you to do your assignments like a good employee, and not basically make me feel like I have to basically shit can you again. Thank you. One thing about these software programs is that they're not human beings, and they do not necessarily always get it right for some reason. But Nightbot's still here too, by the way. If you want to get the same information from Nightbot, it starts with a double exclamation point. I programmed enough to be different that you can tell which one. So if you type in documentary like this, like Hot Tricks did, you type in documentary, say documentary, you get the Patrick's answer. If you press with the double exclamation points and you type in documentary, you get the Nightbot answer. So you see, they're both quietly listing. One's got the double exclamation points, one's got the single exclamation points. The only one that doesn't have a double is because it keeps changing every so often. It's the Discord link, which right Nightbot has exclusivity on that one. So let's let you know that. So, anyway, like I said, last night we watched Elvira. It's pronounced Elvira. It's not pronounced Elvira. It's Elvira. Blonde woman is so creamy cute. Ooh, I love them I like that face. I like her voice. Her voice reminds me of maple syrup. It's just dripping with sweetness. I love it. I like those kind of voices on women. Her build is cute. Her face is cute. She's just a nice person. Even though the movie was in Danish, it wasn't too hard for me to understand it. I just basically had to slowly listen to what they were saying and try to pick out the words. I think because my mom is Norwegian, I tend to pick up a little bit of Norwegian as well, and German. I'm able to somewhat translate between those languages, at least in listening to them. I can't speak them, but I can at least listen to them. And don't forget, English is a Germanic language, too. So if you think about it, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, German, they're kind of all related to each other. Finnish, unfortunately, is more related to Hungarian than Finnish, which is kind of interesting. Yeah. Considering that Finland and Hungary are not even near each other. No, they're not. Now, I did find looking for some international music, and I did find a few Swedish party albums, a couple Finnish party albums, and shitload of Norwegian ones. So maybe coming up in a couple of months, we'll get some other countries in besides mostly the southern European countries for music, so you can check it out. It'll be fun, yeah. Good. Gotta love that. Hi, Red. So who wants to come up on QEQ today and see if the panel sound works better without the echo? Echo. Yeah. But at the same time, the volume might be possibly a little bit hot, a little bit distorted because the level is different. Well, I turned it down at the board as best I could, but yeah, it might be a little bit hot. Like a big, hot, overheated sausage patty. I'm not quite that bad. Oh well, we'll see. Right now we have 8 people on. 9 people now. 9 people. And the funny thing was yesterday at the end of the show, when we petered out, we had all the way from 25 or something, and then we were down to 1 person. Almost like instantly. But it wasn't our problem because we were still streaming and we were still recording, and even YouTube shows that we were still catching the show live and people were still watching. So maybe it was because they were having some kind of problems at YouTube or something. I have no idea. But at least no one had a problem actually watching or recording the show, because the show is recorded in its full entirety. And even if it was, Michelle still got the local copy on Restream.io. Right. So, if anybody did experience any kind of a downer at the end of the show yesterday and didn't know what or where it went or whatever because the net split or something, just let me know and I'll send you a link to the show, or I'll even just upload the whole show if it's a systemic problem. Just let me know, okay? And I'll make sure that you can get the whole show if you missed part of it for whatever reason, okay? So anyway, the very interesting that the weather today is kind of chilly, but then again, it's not exactly surprising, I guess. Unfortunately, I left my phone in the bedroom, but that's okay. It was cold this morning. It definitely was well below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, she just came in. It's probably about 45 right now, or about maybe about 7 degrees Celsius at the time he came in. So, yes, Fred, I see you. Yeah, we see you. Where's everybody else on the side chat? They're in there. Oh, so like a Prego commercial. They're in there, huh? Okay. Just, somebody asked yesterday, said, if you have a soundboard, it would make my shows feel more lively, more enthusiastic. You know, I'll tell you a secret, that certainly is one reason why even TV shows have laugh tracks. It's because if the show didn't have a laugh track in some of the comedy sitcoms, the show would have less enthusiasm and less excitement and energy. I mean, yes, they try to shoot in front of a live studio audience, but some shows, for whatever reason, can't. An example comes to mind is Love Boat. Yeah, where you're going to stick everybody on the ship and the state ropes. I mean, that's good. Love Boat. That's so good. What's it? I forgot the song for Love Boat. Something for everyone, for the course for adventure, through the night. Oh. He has to be programmed and everything. Who does? Alright, actually, I think you're more genuine. I think you're the real deal. Leo, why don't you come up on the piano, please? I'd love to have you up here today. Yeah, why don't you come on up here? QEQ, quiet, educated, and quirky. Quiet, educated, and quirky. See if we can get some people up here today. Thrall. I slaved over a hot mixer to try to fix the echo, and we need a test subject. Yeah, it would help. It would help. Right? No, definitely. Anyway, tomorrow is hair day. So, tomorrow I have to go shake the ATM and get some green stamps off of that. Hey, give me my money. Yeah, but yeah, tomorrow's hair day. My Michelle's hair is going pretty good. Yeah, it is. I saw Stan's review on his new stereo last night. I do hope that you guys did watch it and give him a like. It was his first unboxing video, and I think he did a wonderful job on it. I think he absolutely did a great job on that review. It definitely pointed out something that I think most people would never have thought about. I do love the fact that you can go in a half megahertz frequency ranges like 89.05, which may sound kind of stupid, but you know what? There's a lot of mixer thingies in FM that don't even go to that kind of precision, and they don't always lock it straight on. So in that case, the little extra bandwidth on FM is not a big deal. However, I do agree with the AM issue. Is why couldn't they have done something similar and got instead of going at 0.9 measurements for European standards, went with the 0.1 measurements for kilocycle range. Or even better, it's gone for what? 1 kilocycle range? Get really, really granular down into your nostrils. You're watching 1080.0.0.1. Well, it would be good for catching the sidebands on AM. Yeah, that would be really useful for that. Okay, so anyone's come up on panel. It's Leo. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. That's a common problem. Good morning. How you doing? How does this sound?
It sounds choppy.
Sounds choppy. Not distorted, like too loud, distorted, or just...
It's pretty loud.
All right, let me see if we turn it on.
And there's still an echo.
Okay, let me turn it down a bit. Any better?
Keep talking.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, the choppiness is gone.
Okay.
But there's still an echo.
How about now? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
1.
Okay, I think it's better.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sounds good.
Okay.
It's a little loud on my end, but I think on the YouTube end you were okay.
Okay, so what I did was I adjusted the sound.
Oh, wait a minute. Nope, you're choppy again.
Okay. Okay, let's turn it out. How about now?
The volume is good.
Okay. Okay, the volume's good. That's good.
The choppiness is gone.
Yeah.
And I don't hear an echo, so I think it's good.
Right, so get rid of the echo as long as you can understand what I'm saying. That's what matters.
I can understand you.
Okay. So anyway, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. What are we talking about today? What are you talking about?
A little bit of everything like I usually do every morning show. Like, you know how it is. Even though it's an afternoon show, I forgot to change it from good afternoon to good morning. Well, it's afternoon in the UK, so it's still accurate.
That's right, it is afternoon in the UK.
Yeah.
Where is everybody this morning? Have your shows been kind of lacking? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know. It's not Michelle. Because Michelle's not lacking. Michelle's got plenty of it. Yeah. But it seems like most of the audience seems to be kind of, not again, not show. So I think it's the audience, and we need to ask the audience why they've been lacking.
I don't know. I think they need to be livened up. What do you think we should do, Michelle?
Well, I don't know. Besides having people come up on panel, talking to them, that's what we do most of the time. Noodles comes up, we talk to them. You talk to them once in a while. I talk to them. They talk to us in chat. We see them. We read their messages.
Yeah, but maybe they want a certain topic discussed. How many people you got in chat or in watching?
Right now, we got 12, but we don't even see many even suggesting anything. They're not
Did you check? Oh wait, no. I was gonna say, did you check your block list? But most of the people here that come are modded. So.
Oh, I did. I unblocked a few people yesterday.
Oh, people were blocked?
There was wheelchair chairman was blocked. I don't know why he was blocked. There was a few people that unblocked that may not have really been good or bad, but rather kind of in the middle. So I just said I unblocked them so that they could at least participate and be part of the show again.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle, what do you think? What do you feel like when you see? Because I'm sure you've seen it. All those Palestinian protesters disrespecting our capital. How did that make you feel when you seen that?
I would say straight out is you're in the wrong fucking country.
It feels like we're in a third world country now, doesn't it? That doesn't happen in America. That happens in other countries.
Well, the problem with the United States, it keeps sticking its proboscis where it doesn't belong.
That's true. That is true. Why do you think that we keep doing that? It's a business thing, right?
It's partially business, yeah. Remember, the United States sponsored Israel in 1946 at the United Nations to become a country. So ever since, the United States has had a vested interest in Israel, kind of like their big brother that supports Israel. And we don't like to see. We don't like to see when the envious or little brother's lunch money.
So maybe you can, because I've been trying to research the Palestinian-Israeli, and I got the kind of the gist of it, that it's over land, it's a religious thing,
yeah,
but
part of it
why
too.
are the Palestinians under lock and key?
Yeah, part of it is religious intolerance.
That's it. That's why they're held like prisoners in their whatever land they're on.
But the thing is, right now is don't forget, Hamas isn't even the Palestinian government.
Right. So that's why I'm confused on like what is going on with. when I was watching, somebody went there. They're like a newbie journalist or whatever, and their father or her parents came from Palestine.
Right.
So she went there and she was showing like a lot of the streets where he grew up, like all the markets and stuff were closed down, and it was heavily guarded by Israel's soldiers.
Right.
I don't understand why. Why are they being policed like that? Are they violent to Israel or?
Well, in this case, I think Israel is becoming the bully. I think, and unfortunately, they keep taking Palestine's lunch money. If that makes any sense. After all, they'll go into Palestine and they tear down brand new houses just because they don't want them there anymore. Talk about stealing your lunch money and your economy. It's just too bad that they can't seem to just find a solution that doesn't involve making the lives of individual citizens a living hell.
Yeah, but why? I don't understand. I mean, maybe it's because I call it American ignorant. I don't know anything about any other countries. I don't know anything about their laws. I never needed to know because I never plan to really, go there anytime soon.
Oh.
So why is it that they're doing that? I don't understand why they feel like they can't like coexist side by side. That's what I don't understand.
Because part of the problem is that Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't want to stop being a bully. That's part of the problem.
Okay, who's Benjamin whatever? Is he a Palestinian guy or an Israel guy?
He is a major member of the Israeli government.
Okay.
I think he's the prime minister. Well, the only thing he's going to do is become basically a prime monster. That's what he's become.
Yeah, I don't. You would think that the UN, if anything, the UN would have said you need to take restrictions off these people if you want peace. You guys have to figure something out. Why are these people being held? I mean, I'm not saying the Palestinians are right. I'm not saying that the Israels are right. I have no clue. But if they're started like their whole interaction is hostile. The Palestinians.
Let me tell you this way. I think is straight out is I think the United Nations needs to give Israel a big spanking. Honestly, that's my opinion.
And that's kind of what I'm getting too, right? Like I said, I'm not saying Palestine is in the right or Israel is in the right. I'm just saying that from what I view, it looks like Israel is bullying them in a way. But I don't know why. Like, are they violent people? Is it just a religious thing? If it's just a religious thing, then that's pretty fucked up, and I don't blame them.
Well, it's kind of like Red just said. It said it's kind of like what happens on YouTube.
Yeah.
Except with actual armaments, guns, bullets, tanks. Yeah. But have you ever been on some of the drama channels? It's the same kind of thing, basically.
Right. Yeah, because there's no rules or laws, right, on the internet right now. I mean, hopefully Noodles will be pushing that through and they'll start getting some laws on here. Or at least faster. I know they're working on it, but hopefully they get here faster.
The problem is the laws have to be applied for internet internationally, not just locally, because they'll be a little different, too crazy otherwise.
Well, I think what will happen is if America makes these laws, and if YouTube wants to function in America, they're going to have to abide by our laws, regardless if it's international.
YouTube actually is a multinational company. If they don't like American law, they can basically go say, we're going to go over to the European, close the American offices, fire all the American employees, but everybody can keep their American accounts. Which means you can kiss the DMCA goodbye.
But think about it, Michelle. That would be the stupidest business decision they would ever make, right? Because American people, a lot of them are scumbags. that's where they make a lot of their money, is through America. So I don't see how like implementing some like rules to kind of govern people a little bit more would affect them too much, other than get the dirt bags off of here.
Oh, it's
like there's certain people that aren't even supposed to be on the internet, but they're on the internet because nobody's checking.
Right, but don't forget YouTube also has some very sponsors that are kind of scummy themselves. I can come up with a couple off the top of my head, but in order to not piss off them and cause YouTube more pain, I will not give names. But there are companies that advertise on YouTube which are scummy, and that are the ones that keep selling you things that are made by workers that work in sweatshops. And that
wow, really?
Really, yes.
Huh.
And three of them, but there's two of the major ones that I get advertising for. I'm not going to give the names of the company because the fact is that they are financing my channel, and I will leave them alone because if I didn't give them at least printing ads on my channel, I wouldn't have very much revenue at all, because people in the bottom feeders of YouTube, I guess you can say that's another variation of the BOIT, is the bottom feeders of YouTube, and it's not quite as nice of a word, the BFYTs, the small channels, they tend to get the worst of the worst advertisers. I don't know why that has to be, but they do. So one of those, actually two of those scammy companies are the ones that have been sponsoring my content. So I'm going to just leave their names alone. But
yeah, I think a lot of it has to do too, like how much does it cost to advertise through YouTube? Do you know? Has anyone
I don't know. They charge different rates. They negotiate.
Yeah, you see a lot of small companies advertising on here.
Well, for me, for example, like for my RPM, I get like $5 to $7 per 1,000 clicks. So you figure $5 to $7 is not a lot of money. So that means if I have 1,000 streams that watch, or 1,000 people watching the ads, I get $5 to $7. And if you are a bigger channel, say for example, like the middle of YouTube, the Moit, that has like 20,000 views in a single day, you might get paid. RPM might be as high as $20. So I think you can figure out what that would mean. So if you got $20 per 1,000, you have 20,000 views. That's like $4,000. Say about $4,000 a day. That's a really major viral video with a lot of people clicking on advertising. But that's obviously not even then. That's not exactly how it works. They might be lucky if they can get $40 a day. But $40 a day is still a far cry from 40 cents a video. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Betty Bunn said YouTube should have removed or Wolf for doxing, but they won't want laws dictating them. They don't want even to follow their own rules. No, they don't. And you know what? They're so worried about the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, for example. If YouTube gets broken up by the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice, the easiest thing to do, YouTube to do, instead of making a bunch of baby tubes, is to just basically just pull up stakes and move all their operations to Europe overseas, but then they have to comply with the GDPR. But you know what? That would also mean that they're not going to be able to siphon all your data for advertising either. But they have to deal with it with Germany and other countries in Europe, so they will just have to adapt. Because once they get rid of the DMCA, which is only a United States law, you're usually be able to play all the music you damn please, and they can't stop you in the United States.
I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm still here. I'm just my sister-in-law is texting me about my crazy brother. So
Okay.
so my attention's a little diverted right now.
Okay, well, what I mean is that if they ever decided, or the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice lawsuits against Google and YouTube resulted in them having to say that YouTube has to be broken up into BB tubes, then Google might do is they might decide to just pull up stake all operations out of the United States, except for having allowed to keep the American customers. But we would all be connecting to European servers. But that also means that they would still have to apply to the GDPR rules, which specifies how your data is to be used. But they already have to apply with them in Europe anyway, so I don't think that'd be a major deal. It might be a lot easier than dealing with the United States Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice Antitrust Division. But that means also being that they would no longer be in the United States. They no longer would have to be forced to apply by the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, is what I was saying earlier. Which means that they can't stop YouTube if they decide YouTube wants to say, we're going to allow everybody to play any music they want. You can tell the MPAA and the RIA to go fuck themselves. That's what it means. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually dare do that.
Yeah.
But I think they're down because Google has a lot of lobbyists. They probably might actually manage to convince the Congress to kind of go in and just turn a blind eye to them regarding the Digital Millennium Copyright Act and Section 230, the safe harbor provisions. I got a feeling you're going to see that Google is going to be there and making sure to get the lobbyists and the government to try to prevent the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice Department from activating or active on the antitrust legislation. Because there's big money involved for Google. They're not going to want to lose that money.
Yeah.
So
I think they got too big too fast. What do you think, Michelle?
Well, it's the internet. They seem to use a lot of Miracle Grow on the internet these days.
Yeah, but I mean, Google, I would say, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago was like when I first heard about Google. Not saying that's when it was involved, but it started getting real big around then, and then it just
about 2002
overnight.
Yeah, about 2002, 2003 is when they started to grow.
Yeah, but I mean, like within the last, I don't know, well, maybe, no, that's still kind of fast for a company to grow that fast, and especially a new company that nobody has any idea of how it's going to work. They need to implement more laws. They definitely need to, and they need to follow them. They need to have almost like their own criminal unit, I think, that monitors the internet.
Well, that's just it. Again, there's no international consensus on laws. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And before Google became the premier search engine, there was a lot of little search engines. There was Alta Vista, there was Dogpile, there was Yahoo, there was Bing didn't exist yet. But there was a lot of little search engines. It just seemed that Google at the time seemed to have a better search engine, and that's where they started to grow, was through their search engines. The next thing you know, to make the searches more better, they started working on making their own operating system and their own browsers. And then slowly, the software became so commonly used that they started marketing the stuff with the products in it. Google makes Android better because it provides the additional tools that otherwise would have been basically a phone that really has a variation of Linux on it. It's what makes Android success is the fact that it's the Google Chrome, the Google involvement, add-ons, that makes Android what it is today. But you're right. Like I said, it's like the internet has a version of Miracle-Gro. They just spray it on the weeds and they turn into bigger weeds. Thank you, Botrix. Make sure to let people know that. Spread out the word. Let's share out that link, please. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, so the thing is, I think that's the problem. Is right now that the world has got too many different laws, too many different countries have their own policies. So what's legal in country A is not legal in country B. And while country C, as far as they're concerned, they see country A as a fairly good mama, but they want to have their own variation of country A's laws. So you get these inconsistency. In some countries, copyright laws are really different, for example. In some countries, they say once you put your movie on the internet, once you put your TV show on the internet, you still own the copyright, but you have no legal right to tell anybody that they can't share it. In other countries, they say, well, guess what? You can still have the right to restrict it. So who's right? Depends on what country you're in. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you very much for inviting you. Playing World of Warcraft Turtle WoW tonight? Because Gidgey said she might want to play Retail WoW with us. So if you ever want to play Retail WoW, we could do that too. But I don't know. It's up to you. So you want to play Turtle WoW tonight at 8 o'clock? Or you want to play Retail WoW at 8 o'clock with Gidgey? I don't know if Gidgey's going to join us tonight, but she said she would like to play Turtle WoW, or regular WoW. I can't what? Play WoW at 8 o'clock tonight? Well, okay. Well, we'll figure something else to do. Oh snap. Let me know if she's able to play. Well, I'll have to ask her. If Gidgey comes up on the show this morning, I can ask her if she wants to play tonight or not. But right now, I know is that yesterday she said she would be interested in playing Retail WoW. I don't know if she's interested in Turtle WoW or not, but we can ask her when she comes up on the show. Absolutely. So, I was talking to Red. Okay. Oh, okay. You're talking to Red. Okay. Well, we'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight unless you can't. Alright. So, anyway, what do you think about some of the stuff that goes on in the non-war issue of the world? I haven't heard much lately about how Congress is going to deal with their hyperinflation issue that we're having in this country. I ordered groceries yesterday from Aldi because it was cheaper than going through Market 32. I spent, what I would have gotten at Market 32, I spent like $100 on Aldi, and they spent like almost almost half of what I would have paid on Market 32 last night.
Yeah, honest, Michelle, I was just thinking about that as well. And I heard Trump say something, I don't know when the speech was, but I heard the speech yesterday that he did. He said that's like the number one thing that he's got to stop in America. The taxes and the price hikes on everything, he says it's got to stop. And then I was thinking, because I heard this woman on, I don't know if it was a TikTok or whatever it was, and this woman is right. So when you work, right, they tax your paycheck. In Michigan, they take out federal, state, Medicare, Social Security, right? So that's 4 taxes there. When you go food shopping, like here, we don't have a food tax, but we do have a tax on, other things. The non-grocery stuff like shampoos and stuff like that.
Right.
So then you're taxed on that. your car's taxed, your house is taxed, you have to pay for your license. I mean, you have all these like taxes, all this money being pulled from us for what? We're still being treated like slaves. I don't understand why people aren't making a bigger deal about that. Why are we taxed on every fucking thing we do? I mean, even the money we make.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. There's another thing we don't do yet in this country. We don't have a value-added tax, or a VAT, which basically would probably drive you crazy, because that's like a 20% tax across the board for the consumer. That's common in the UK. So they don't have sales tax. They have a value-added tax. So that's one of the reasons why some things in the UK are expensive. I think food may be exempt, but the thing is, do you have a county tax too? Do you have to pay county taxes or not?
I don't. Only in certain parts. There's a separate tax, but it's only for certain counties.
Right.
So
certain counties have their own taxes. Some cities, of course, have their own taxes. And in Connecticut, we haven't had real counties with real power since 1959. So we have counties, but they don't have a government anymore. So that's why everything fell to the state. The state took over everything. If you went to 8 counties in Connecticut, you didn't need to have all those county governments. How you doing on the wire? Okay.
See, I don't know. Me just getting into politics, like I said, this is a very hard thing. Whenever I get involved in something, I go and I'm interested. I sit down and I analyze everything until I come up with something that makes sense in my head. And since I know nothing of politics and I'm just starting to learn them, it's very fascinating how things work. And it also is very fascinating on how they can't figure out the problem. All they would have to do is this one simple thing, and it would fix a lot of things.
Well,
so I'm very curious why they can't do that.
Because everybody has different viewpoints, and that's where part of the problem is. Nobody
but if we go by our country's law of a democracy, it doesn't matter if you make everybody happy. It's the popular vote. It's the majority. That's the problem here. All these crazy extremists that are going around saying we want different pronouns. A woman is not
right. And that's part of the problem.
That should have been nipped in the bud immediately. That has nothing to do with politics. That has everything to do with mental health, and that's nobody's business. So you're either crazy or you keep it to yourself. I don't go around shouting I'm straight. I'm a straight white woman. Why is that anybody's business?
Well, I think what it is I think that the problem is when the founding fathers created the Constitution and they represented the government that they had, I think they were thinking that most of the governing people would remain sane. But if you look at some of the people in Democrats right now and some of the Republicans, clearly they lost their marbles years ago.
See, I don't even know, if Trump gets in, right? He's not going to be able to fix this. He's only going to have 4 years. And in that time, he's going to have to reverse a lot of the shit that and this is how it always is. They got to reverse a lot of the stuff.
Well,
then he can't run again because he had already ran one term.
I don't think the shadow government wants Trump in there. I think they'll do whatever they can, especially that since they support the far left, they're going to try to shut him down before he can even get the nomination.
Well, yeah. Well, because he's not a sheep. He's a wild card. They don't have enough pull with that guy. So yeah, they don't want him in there. They don't want him in there. Nope.
I really think I mean, if his age wasn't a question for me, because after all, we already dealt with one old senile president. Actually, we did with two, since Ronald Reagan kind of fell in the same game. But I mean, he's 80. He's gonna be 79, 80 years old. Do we really need to have another old man in office? Even though he's got all his marbles, I just really think that we need to have a younger candidate in office. And everybody said we need to have a woman's president. I still think Nikki Haley would be an excellent choice for office, personally.
Nikki Haley? Why?
She was an ambassador to the United States and the United Nations. She also was a governor of the state of North Carolina. She knows the idea how the executive branch works. She's very outspoken. She's very educated.
Okay. Well, here's where I disagree on that, though, because I do remember seeing her in the debates.
Right.
I don't think she's strong enough. I don't think she's a bad candidate, but I don't think she's strong enough. We need somebody that's going to get in there and have power. She doesn't. Not a lot of people know her. I think she has a lot of respect.
I agree that there is some of that issue. But then again, for the fear of sex vote, you have to look at it from that way. Is we all want a female president in office, but we don't.
I don't, Michelle. I do not. Not with the way females are acting in this country now. There's something off with the females in this country. They're not thinking right.
No, I agree. Some of them are definitely not thinking right because they keep thinking they're boys. But then again, there are others in office, that seem to be very articulate, very well knowledgeable, but unfortunately, they also have become a giant doormat, which is sad but true. I definitely would like to see a candidate, like a Trump candidate, male or female, it don't matter, that is just as outspoken, just as strong-willed as he is.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need another old man in office. I think that's the one thing that this country does not need. We need a younger man like a Trump when he was in the 1980s, young, outspoken. Unfortunately, Ron DeSantis is not him.
Do you think that? I don't know. I think we need a strong conservative in there right now to pull us back in.
We need a strong conservative, absolutely.
Yeah, to pull us back in. I don't know if that would have to be an older guy or a younger guy or whatever. I liked Vivek Ramaswamy. I loved his ideas, and I mean, he could be a great president, but there's something about him that pharmaceutical stuff that really bothers me that he's involved in that. I'm not saying I don't know the whole. I can't comment on exactly what happened, but that bothers me. Like, that's already kind of like a criminal type act that he's doing to the country. Like, so what's he gonna do once he gets in there? If he gets in there,
I don't know. I wish I could tell you that answer.
We don't know out on the wire.
It's just something about his name. It just sounds strange. The name sounds strange.
Yeah, it took me a long time to finally get his name down. Vivek Ramaswamy. And he's first generation here, which I kind of think that should be changed. Like, I think that you should have to be a president of the United States. I don't think you just have to be an American. I think that you have to have a generational tie to America, your family, almost like how the royalty works over in England.
I don't know. I think originally we had a generational thing originally put in. I mean, the having to be born here originally was to avoid possible tie-in with the British crown, because if they can allow immigrants to just come in and become president, they were afraid that they were going to be secret royal loyalists
Oh no, I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like they just have to, maybe their family has to be here for several generations, not just one, maybe like 3 generations. Because then they have like a commitment to America, right? Because we got all these illegals coming here. They set up a family, they raise a family, and then their kids grow up, which would be the first generation, and are like the worst scumbags in the world against America. They hate it so bad. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying nobody, like anybody from an ethnic group, or it could never be president. I'm just saying it's a generational tie.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Trying to run for president of the United States is an expensive proposition. If the cost of running an election isn't enough of a deterrent, I mean, it's not like you're running for, say, your city councilman. I mean, in a way, it is similar, but it's a much, much, much harder uphill battle to get in to one of the two parties. And let's be honest, this is a two-party country. There really is not any chance you're ever going to see a third-party candidate right now, at least, get into office. Maybe in 20 years, 30 years, when a third party like the Green Party or the Libertarian Party can get enough people to actually convince to give them a chance to be voted on by the electors of the Electoral College. You will notice the electors of the Electoral College only normally work with Republicans and Democrats. There is no Green Parties. There is no Libertarian. No. Electors in the Electoral College. So I don't know how that's going to work. This country was never designed to have even two parties, but it ended up becoming two parties after Abraham Lincoln created the Republican Party, which was the abolitionist party of the slavery movement, anti-slavery movement.
That's a possibility. Well, I don't know, Gianni. You think so? That's a possibility. If more people went back to work, they would decrease taxes. That's what we need. We need a lot of these people that are sitting at home that are capable of working.
Hi, Red. Thank you for being over there in Kick. I appreciate you watching things over there.
Yeah, Noodles is over there. Hey, Noodles. I don't know why he's not here.
Hi, Noodles. How you doing over the Kick? How you doing today? Well, Noodles is a mod over there, I think, so you can't really time him out. But I definitely do want to also let people know real quick that, yes, we will be doing some night shows over at Kick as exclusives, like we did yesterday with the TV show Elvira. That movie, as I said earlier, that woman was good. That TV show was good. I actually liked that, even though it was in Danish. I actually had a good time watching it. All right, back to the government now. Now, one of the things is that this country needs is, this country, I think, is too big. I think this government is too big. I think we need to break it down into regional governments. This country is just too big for its own good.
I don't even know how that would work, Michelle, because we've got Congress and we've got, what is the other group? Or the subgroups or whatever. Those people can't even work together. If we get more groups, you know how much animosity and...
Let's put it this way. Let's talk about the closest thing to what I'm talking about. Before European Union even existed, each country, which would be like each state, had its own government. Mm-hmm. Each country came up with their own laws, their own policies. Well, in the United States, there are several states that don't work cohesive as a block. For example, most all New England likes to work together, have certain viewpoints. In Mid-Atlantic states, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, they tend to have their own viewpoints. The southern states, the eastern, southeastern, the southwestern, midwestern, south, midwestern, north, the Pacific states, each one of them could be their own block of countries. or states. Each one could have, like, for example, the Norwegian region, the Mid-Atlantic region, the Eastern Southern United States region. They could all be their own regions because they're all based on common geography and common views. Those governments can create laws that make sense because they're more likely going to get a consensus of what that region wants. The problem is when you got the United States as we have it now, it's too big, too many voices, too many people fighting, as you said, and not getting anything done because there's too many differing viewpoints. That's one of the reasons why some people would like to see the European Union abolished as well.
Right, and if in a perfect world that would be the best thing, but for some reason we have this giant, they call him Big Brother or whatever, that governs all, right? So our governor, or our governed states would have to follow this giant,
Yeah, by the way,
because you can't do that and do that, know.
What's the name of your female governor again? You have she's this cute.
Is it Gretchen? No, that was the old one.
Gretchen. She's cute. I like her. But she's a Democrat, but she's kind of a little bit... She's
a fucking idiot, man. She's a fucking idiot.
But a cute one.
I never understood, like, when someone would say, like, that about a politician. I'm like, well, they can't be that bad. We're still alive or whatever. But when I looked into some of the stuff that she had signed and, like, pushed through, and she completely tanked this state. This state is so bad.
Oh, I know that.
Everybody's out of work and everybody's fucking high.
When was the last time you guys had a Republican governor?
It's been a long time.
Not a long time. It's been the same with Connecticut. So Michigan, in the United States, and in Connecticut and California have the one problem in common. Lousy governorships. Yeah. And they don't really help the economy except the people under their party.
There's a lot of corruption going on here. I don't care what anybody says, but when we're paying the construction alone, like the road work and stuff like that, there's something wrong with that. When you go by these road workers and everybody's standing around all the fucking time for months, or there's nobody there and the roads are all blocked off, like there's never anybody working, then all of a sudden one day everything, that money's going somewhere. It's not going to where it's supposed to be going.
Well, I think it's like you said, the problem is the people in the Democrats, they support big government. They support big business. And yes, they do when you think about it. Even though we used to blame the Republicans for supporting big business, I think the difference is that most Republicans focus on getting the kids a good education to be aware of the realities of what's going on, where most Democrats don't really have that. They don't send the kids to... Don't even
get me started on the education system.
Oh, yeah, well, unfortunately, that's where the problem actually starts.
Yeah, that's what I was asking Stan in Discord today, because my kid is smart. Michelle, she's starting to teach herself another language. She's starting to learn Italian, of all languages. We have no Italian in our family. So, and she's already trying to teach me phrases and stuff like. My kid is smart.
That's where she should go to. That's where she needs. She should be going to a Montessori type school where she can focus on the skills that she excels at.
Yeah, and that's I was asking Stan, like, do you think it's worth even getting her tested? Because she may be a genius or whatever, but I mean, I
don't know if she's a genius or not, but when you see the price they're charging to get results from that test, the company, obviously, who came up with the test is certainly a racking fucking A genius. Trust me, it's not free, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's not, but I mean, even if she excels someplace, whatever, but I don't have the money. Her dad won't pitch in for something like that. And will it mark her?
Let me ask you a question. If you were to homeschool her, which would be another option, would you be able to do it? Homeschool her. Do you have the ability to... Because if you can, thanks to the power of the computer and the internet, she could take advanced classes at home as long as she can meet the state proficiency exams, and that's all she has to do. For depending on the state requirements, you can homeschool your daughter.
But I know. I did for a little while. And the only problem I had with it was, first, the system that they sent us, I couldn't figure it out. Like, everything was really weird because it was thrown together so super fast because of COVID. But this kid, she never studies. She always gets her work done. She's got straight A's. I don't even think I would have to do anything with homeschooling. Now, the advanced stuff, I probably couldn't do it. I don't know nothing about whatever.
Well, let's put it this way. What grade is she in now?
She's in middle school.
All right. So here's what I would do then. Number one, keep this in mind. The kids in the school will always be smarter than the parents when it comes to technology. You know that. I'm sure you and I knew more than my parents and your parents did. They probably ran circles around them. But she's going to certainly run circles around you. But I think...
What it is, she's already got a successful YouTube channel doing collabs with major YouTubers.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. If you homeschool, it's going to be different than what they try to do with the time of the big C. Because first of all, they were still trying to have the kids going through the school system. But if home parenting... Take a look at some of the homeschooling options out there. I mean, there is definitely, you could supplement her public school education with additional educational, skills that she's going to need in the real world. I did that on my own. I went to public school, and then when we moved to Winston, I went to the Gilbert School, which is a semi-private business school. But it also the tuition was paid by the town of Winston. I'll tell you, I got a hell of an education out of that. I still live with it every day, because that's why I'm so smart with business. It's because of Gilbert School's education. And I thank my lucky stars that I am one of the many generations of my family that went to Gilbert. I mean, that's
my oldest brother was he was a genius too, and then he got fucked up on drugs and lost everything.
So. Yeah, well, that's what you're saying. That's what I'm saying is you need to keep your daughter away from the people in the schools that influence smart kids to become stupid.
Yeah, like every fucking kid in her school.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember at her age not dealing with anything that she's dealing with. They have in lower grade schools, they started with if you feel suicidal. They have, the posters up everywhere. Yeah. I don't ever remember dealing with that stuff.
It wasn't a thing really in my school either. When I went to high school, we didn't have to deal with all of this. There was always concern about teenage pregnancy. That's because, unfortunately, you're at an age when you start exploring that part of yourself.
Yeah.
But tobacco...
Not me, I don't know. But I guess we did have some sluts in our school. But we didn't have a lot of teenage pregnancy either. It was the school I went to was like the top tier of public schools. So maybe that had a lot to do with it, that we didn't, experience a lot of that. Maybe.
Well, that's the nice thing about the Gilbert School for high school is they were hard ass. You couldn't get away with a lot back at Gilbert. And when I went to school there, I graduated in 1987. They ran that school with a hard discipline. This is a word. My father went there, and my cousins and my aunts. They taught you to know everything, and morals were a major part of the language course. Or policy was teaching morals. They did not want to allow people to become deviants. people that were proven to be deviated or were basically evicted or were expelled and told to find another school because they didn't want deviants there. So deviants were expelled from the Gilbert School.
I think when two Sagittariuses get together and have kids, they either are smart or crazy. That's my whole family.
Well, Sagittarius, when they have kids, their kids are like the wandering wind. They just like to wander because that's what Sagittarius do. They love to travel. And they get bored easy. And they don't like sitting down and experiencing the herd workers. Ask a Virgo.
I don't hear anything on the panel.
Ask a Virgo. Ask a Capricorn.
Michelle, check your panel. I didn't hear you guys. I didn't hear the email.
I don't see anybody beeping me on the panel. No, there's no one on the panel, guys. I just looked.
Noodles just tried coming up, and he said,
"I'm looking at the screen
Noodles,
now."
Try again. We didn't hear.
Now someone paging us. Okay, it's Noodles. Hold on a minute, please. I gotta get over to the screen. I wish I could find a way I can make this cursor a little more noticeable. Go ahead, Noodles. How you doing?
Michelle.
Hey.
Hey, what are we looking at? Oh, a ceiling. You're not still in the bathroom, are you?
No.
Michelle. He's looking at it. We're looking at a wall anyway.
There's a free concert going on at the VA if you want to watch it.
No thank you. We're not interested in the concert right now. So we're talking about education, public education.
What kind of concert?
Private education.
You don't want to talk about the student.
Well, I know, but I just was curious, like, what kind are they doing, like a benefit or?
Yeah, it's like cops. Like veterans and cops.
Okay.
Well, I think one thing that I was saying is the problem is that when Sagittarius have kids, like I said, they're used to traveling. They want to explore things. They want to explore the world. They don't really like sitting around a long time. They get bored. Virgos.
Yeah, they get bored easily with people. I can't stand stupid people, and it's just because I get bored of them really, really fast, and then my patience wears out of being, polite.
Right, but you're also Leo too, and Leos enjoy being in the spotlight. But
well, yeah, maybe intellectually I do. I think intellectually. Like, I love a good conversation.
Right, that's a Leo trait. That's also a trait of Gemini. Virgos are the bookworms of the zodiac. I think them and Aquarius together tend to have a lot of the brain trust in the zodiac. When it comes to the smarts, we tend to just bury everybody in knowledge. But most Virgos are mainly introverted. They're not normally outgoing. They quietly like to study.
Wait, isn't Andrew a Virgo?
Andrew is a Virgo, yeah.
Why is he such an asshole, Michelle?
Because male Virgos tend to be a little more outgoing, but they tend to be a little bit arrogant because they're kind of proud of their smarts.
I swear to God, that guy, if I ever seen him in a bar, he would have had all my drinks thrown on him the way he talks to me. Such an ass.
Well, that's just the way the male Virgo is, unfortunately. They tend to be very different than the female Virgos. I mean, they tend to act a little more under impulses. Female Virgo will tell you where to go, but usually they try to be tactful about it, unless you really cross them. And then they're going to give it to you with both barrels. But a male Virgo he tends to think a little more arrogance because of Mr. T in his blood. he tends to think he's a hot to trot, arrogant, educated bastard. That's why he tends to do that. But unfortunately, he's also, like all Virgos, have a sense of anxiety about things in their lives. they want control. And, of course, with Mr. T in their blood, of course it's going to make them more arrogant because they're like, oh, okay, I'm the guy. I'm the penis. I'm the one that has all Mr. T. I can make it happen. He's kind of like a male Virgo boss is a horrible boss to work for. A way worse than even a Capricorn boss.
He would be someone bad to work. I could see him, like, he'd tell you to do something. And, like, somebody who, they did the job, and he still wouldn't be satisfied.
Right, absolutely.
It's like, redo it, because I don't like that type of sparkle. I want a different sparkle.
A female Virgo in this sense is the same. If you were doing a job for me, and I would, if I didn't know you, especially if I didn't know you as an employee, and I go to you, and you say, okay, Michelle, I did the document you wanted. Fill all the forms you want. Then I flip the link. You forgot to do page 5. Well, that doesn't apply to us. Then write not apply. NA. Don't just leave it a blank sheet of paper like you forgot it. I'll be like, that's just the way I am. But the difference is that I also tend to really hate stupid people. I don't know why. Virgos by nature do. They just hate stupidity. We just can't deal with it. And that's one reason why I can't really see myself watching a lot of the YouTube chat panels that go on for hours about the most mundane things. It's like, get to the meat and potatoes already. I'm tired of having the appetizers.
I think these people know more about me than I know, or more about noodles than he knows.
Well,
as much as they talk about us.
Well, I'll tell you something about the Aquariuses. They may be space cases, but a lot of them happen to be pretty knowledgeable when it comes down to getting things done, too. And being got both Aquarius and Virgo in my chart, it just says Lumi has almost all Aquarius in hers, and a little bit of Aries. And a little bit of Aries in her chart. You can sort of see where I stand because I straddled both sides of the zodiac chart. So, I mean, they're all smart. The Virgos, Aquariuses are very smart, but the level of concern.
What does that mean? I did my ex-husband's chart, and he was like, I'm not even kidding, like 90% Scorpio in his chart. What does that mean?
Oh, mysterious sign. That gives you what Scorpios are like.
No, I know what Scorpios are like. I was with him for 20 years, but he got nasty.
And he probably had kept a lot of close secrets to his chest, too. Didn't share a lot.
He thought he had a lot of secrets. I knew everything.
Yeah. That's just the way Scorpios are. They tend to have a lot of secrets. Secret lovers are not exactly uncommon for a Scorpio.
They hold everything in, too, and then they take it out on everybody.
Some do. That's why with Scorpios, you gotta occasionally lance that pustule every so often.
I used to laugh. My mom and dad used to call him a princess.
Yeah.
Because he thought everything should have been catered to his little ass. You know nothing out on the wire. You're a stupid Canadian.
Slow man. I'm a slow man. Zombies. Ooh.
Why'd you bring him up? Is he in here?
Thanks everyone for joining in. For Beats to live at your home, please contact.
Right, Dimitri? That guy is such a
scumbag.
I know a lot about that guy. I just kept my mouth shut. But after he called me a whore, fuck him.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Michelle.
Well, anyway, the point is, like I said, Scorpios, especially Scorpio men, especially tend to have a lot of secrets. But both the Scorpio male and female tend to like to flirt a lot. So, I see.
I'll be going by the concert.
I see Noodles has got some deliveries or something downstairs. Oh, that's the over. He's going down to the cafeteria again. Which is a pretty big cafeteria.
Dave, are you allowed to record in there, being that it's a hospital setting? Probably. It's not in the patient's room, I guess.
Oh, it's like a full-size food court.
Yeah, it's like a hospital, I believe. So it's going to have, you know, a big cafeteria.
It's a public area hospital, yeah. It's set up like a food court.
Dimitri wants to know what's your knowledge of Geminis.
Well, let's see. I don't have a lot of Gemini friends except for Tiger Kitty, and of course, so I know, yeah, Gemini Gem. So of the two people I know are both female Geminis. They're both very educated, just like Donald Trump. They're very excellent, eloquent communicators. They can certainly have, you know, kind of some traits of a Leo. They have that ability to really be very active at getting things said in clear, concise language, just like Donald Trump does. Donald Trump is also a Gemini.
I'll be right back, Michelle.
Okay. So anybody else still watching over you there on Kick right now? So that's basically to me what I know about Geminis. That the Geminis are very, very educated, outspoken, clear communicators.
Sorry, Michelle.
Okay.
Stretching out my back. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Stretching my back out, Michelle. You know.
I hear you stretching your back. Then you're back outside again. Anyway, so how's the sound to you?
Say it again.
How does the sound to you?
What sounds good?
Okay, good. Because we tried to get the sound dialed in right now. So you guys are going through a different input on my Mac right now. You guys are going into the headphone port for the panels, and then but that's only in mono. And then for the regular YouTube is going through the external input to the mixer, so the external people are getting it in stereo. Don't ask; it's complicated. Fortunately, if my mixer has enough inputs to do that with it. All your Trumps are. I don't know. I mean, Gemini's a Trump. Trump's a Gemini. But there are some Geminis. The Trump also has traits of a Leo, too. You ever notice how he kind of... The twins. It's almost like some ways they're kind of like... They're kind of trying to play a balancing act. Like they're a little bit like a Leo, and they're a little bit like... But they're knowledgeable, kind of like a Virgo.
Michelle, you see my shotgun that I put together last night?
I said what?
The shotgun that I put together last night.
No, I didn't.
No.
What'd you do? Buy it from a kit?
No, I put a flashlight on it and a laser and all this other crap.
Okay. Well, firearms don't really excite me.
You want me to bring it over on Friday? We go shoot it?
You said no. I don't want firearms in here. I don't want firearms in here. I don't like firearms. But the thing is, for me, when you talk about the different signs, I think the two signs that I find interesting is Cancer and Pisces. Cancer is very emotional people. very caring, loving, but they tend to have, sometimes their emotions can overflow like a bathtub. And they're a water sign. So is Pisces, which are all
right,
what
if I bring a fucking sword over there?
At least I don't have to worry about accidental discharges with a sword.
Michelle, I'm just telling you, wherever I sleep, Michelle, I always have a gun. So if I'm going to sleep over there Friday night, I'm just telling you, there's going to be a loaded gun in the house.
As long as this gets in a holster and the trigger lock is on it.
Yes. Well, I sleep with it under my pillow.
Yeah, well, you really don't need to, really. Nobody ever comes in my house tonight.
I'm kidding, Michelle.
I know, because it's not even there anymore anyway. So, you used to be cool. Who? Who used to be cool? Michelle, what's your knowledge of Gemini? Just answer that.
Michelle, are you all excited for Friday? I am. I can't wait.
Yes, I said I was. I want you're gonna come. We'll try to get you over there. Get a chance to listen to some of the records we got. Definitely play some of the dance ones.
Should I go live while driving up there? So I want to leave the house at like 7, right? So if I leave the house at like 7, maybe 6 o'clock, right? I can get up there, by 8, 9, 10, by 10 o'clock. Usually go live at 10:30, right?
I usually am live at 10 o'clock, but if you come up at 10:30, then could just be having part of the morning show, and then we'll just move the show over to Kick. And then we can start doing some of the music and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bought some more groceries from Instacart, so we have some food at the house. We got some, frozen pizzas, macaroni and cheese, things like that. That come from over there from Aldi's Stuffed Crust Pizza. Mama Cosie's. I never had Stuffed Crust Mama Cosie's pizza. Pepperoni. But we'll try that out. And I had some lasagna left over for lunch today, so I got more food, I think, over there at Aldi's than I did even in Market 32. Don't forget, you got yogurt frozen in the freezer. Did you make sure to warm up your jacket ever? Yeah, you're right. Frozen Greek yogurt. You're right. You need a jackhammer to eat it. I love it though. Yeah. I also got 2 of them in the refrigerator as well because I didn't have room in the freezer for all the yogurt. Aldi's pizza is dank. I haven't tried it. I've had the regular pizza, but let's put it this way: $5.49. $5.49 versus $10-12 for DiGiorno. That's half the price. I got 3 Mama Cozy stuffed crust pepperoni pizzas. Actually, no, 3 meat. 3 meat. It's good.
Michelle, why don't we make our own pizza?
Yeah.
You want to make our own pizza?
Well, I don't have any yeast.
No, Michelle, we'll go to ABC Pizza. We'll ask for one of their doughs because you like the dough at ABC Pizza, right?
I don't know if they would sell us pizza dough, but then again, maybe if you want to go to ABC Pizza for dinner, they probably could say, "Can I have a pizza with nothing? Nothing? Yeah, I just want you to brown the bread for me."
No, Michelle, we'll make our own za. I'm telling you. Michelle,
yeah.
all we need to do, okay? You got some sugar in the house?
Yeah, I got some regular sweet and regular
all right,
sugar.
You got some salt?
I got some salt. I don't have any yeast, though.
You might want to bring fresh stuff, just saying.
Oh.
That's where roaches go.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, we definitely don't have yeast, and yeast is definitely something that needs to be fresh.
All right, Michelle. You know what? Then I'll tomorrow night. I'll go to the store. I'll go buy the marinara. Right. I'll put some sugar in there, some salt, and when we get to the house,
cheese,
Michelle.
some mozzarella cheese or Parmesan cheese, or mozzarella
Yeah.
and
We'll go get the mozzarella, the Parmesan, everything. Michelle, it'll be great. Trust me.
I got a pizza pan, so we're all set with that.
You got a pan?
Yeah, I got a pizza pan. Yeah, I got that.
All right, so we can make a pizza. How hot does your oven get?
How hot does my oven get?
How hot does it get?
About 700, 800, 900 degrees.
Oh, fuck that. Yeah, then we're good.
Oh, I need that hot though. Just set for 350.
My oven doesn't even go that high.
No, my oven only goes like to 550.
I think 500 is mine.
Oh, mine does get a little on the higher side. So.
All right, so then we set it to the highest setting possible, okay? We get the oven blaring hot, right? We make the pizza, stick the pizza in there for like 15 minutes, Michelle, and you'll have the best pizza ever. You got any breadcrumbs?
I don't have a pizza stove, though.
You don't need a pizza stove.
No, I said a pizza stone, not a pizza stove.
Oh,
okay.
Wait, I thought you said you had a pizza pan.
It's a standard,
Yeah, there's a stone you can have. You don't need that, Michelle. He doesn't use a stone when he makes pizza.
I don't usually use it. I wouldn't see how I would be able to use a stone in the peel anyway. But basically, just making the pizza pan, baking it at 350 for about 30 minutes.
And we're going to get super stoned, Michelle. Super, super duper stoned.
Yeah.
That's Friday night.
We'll see what happens with that. Let's see how that goes. And then, of course, you want to do a show. Don't forget to bring your dancing shoes, because we're going to be playing some music on Kick. It's called Kick for a reason, isn't it? Yeah, we know why it's called Kick.
When? When are you going to do music on Kick?
We're going to be playing some dance. We're going to be playing some music by a couple of different artists. We got the Tony Orlando and Don greatest hits.
Yeah, but what day, Michelle?
Friday night Kick.
Oh, it's Friday.
More like Friday afternoon on Kick, actually.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Friday afternoon. We're gonna do a lot of live streams at Michelle's. To be honest with you, Friday. There's gonna be tons of live streams. I'm gonna be live. Michelle's gonna be live. It's gonna be on and off all day. All day.
Wow.
I'm gonna show you the ins and outs of Michelle. I'm gonna have the live stream going 24 hours in her one room. Okay, so you can see what's going on at Michelle's.
Well,
it'll be 24-hour live stream.
We'll end up probably switching over to the other camera, the one that's in the kitchen, so we can see the kitchen, because people probably want to see the kitchen.
Well, I want to try something, Michelle. I want to do an MMD 24-hour live stream where it's just us in the house walking back and forth, talking, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying we have to unplug the camera in the room so we can set that up. You don't have one of those catcher thingies? They do, but it's not on use.
Michelle, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Why don't you start a channel called MMD 24/7?
I don't have enough bandwidth to run 2 channels, Noodles. Unfortunately.
What don't you have?
I don't have fiber because I'm not regular yet. Because the landlord didn't allow them to come through to install the fiber in the box yet. So we don't have fiber.
Yeah, but Michelle, all you got to do is just set up your phone or your camera, right? Just hit live and don't even do anything. Just have people watch you around the house. It's 24/7.
Yeah, but then when I do the morning show, it's going to have another problem, which is then it's going to be competing with 2 streams on a connection that's only
that's when you shut it down. That's when you shut it down. You shut it down, and then after you're done, you restart it. You don't even fucking interact with the live stream. Michelle, it's MMD 24/7.
I don't know. I know that Chris Perillo did that. He has a separate webcam watching his office 24/7. You can go watch it on Chris Perillo's channel. But he has cable internet. So he has the bandwidth to do that and keep still streaming. We had a webcam on his G4 Mac Mini running his webcam. So it's be running barefoot, just basically just capturing video from him walking around the house and stuff. It's something we could do, I guess. But I also, being mainly an introvert, I also am the kind of person that enjoy my privacy. I don't like always having people see everything I do. I'm not like that. I tend to be very private. I tend to be very quiet when I'm by myself. I don't usually want everybody to know everything about me. Plus, we'll probably be playing some World of Warcraft, guys, as well. But I don't know which computer. Well, what's the problem? World of Warcraft is a web-based game. It needs a lot of access to server data. So, I can't play at 720p. I've tried. They always constantly crash at 720 for some reason. So, for videos, for gaming, I tend to stream them at 640 by 360 for that reason. Unless it's a game that is entirely a local game like Sims 3 and Sims 4. Yeah. So we'll see what we can do, Noodles. We'll figure it out.
Michelle, have you been to any new channels?
Any new channels? What do you mean by that?
Have you found any new YouTube channels that you watch or go into? Introduced yourself or anything like that?
Not really. Other than I introduced myself on Stan's channel. Of course, he know me, but I also did subscribe to Stan knows you. Did you see his review yesterday on this new stereo he got?
No, it's a record player, right?
He did a fantastic job on the review. I think he really should be doing more reviews of products. He did a fantastic job on that.
Yeah, Stan's a smart guy. I got it queued up to watch it, but I haven't made it over there yet.
He did an excellent job on that. He clearly, his professional observational skills really worked out really well for the review. He pointed out two deficiencies with his all-in-one stereo, primarily on the AM receiver part, which most people in the United States don't know about, is the way that the tuning and AM band for digital tuners in the U.S. and Europe is different. He picked up on that because the receiver was programmed for the European tuning standard. He addressed that. I'm actually very glad that he brought that up. But he said he does like the additional broadened tuning range of the FM dial. And I told him, so, the one nice thing about the fact that they got so much more fine tuning in the FM dial means that it'll be easier to tune in a station that for some reason gets a little bit off tuned or something. So he said the radio sounds great, and he agreed with me that the replacement stylus really did make the records play a lot better quality sound.
Hey, you're sometimes when you play a record, I can hear a lot of I guess static would be the best. Does that mean is the record dirty or is that the needle?
Usually it means is the record's got surface noise. Probably from dirt, dust, static. Do
you have one of those record like dusters? Don't they have a special cloth or something?
They do. I just bought two of them. I bought two different systems. One's an anti-static spray to help prevent static cling, and the other one is a general record cleaner, which, if you keep the records treated properly, keep them in the sleeves and you're not playing them, and wipe them with the appropriate cleaning products, they'll sound good for years. But if you are like what I did when I was a kid, the ham-fisted person would not understand and just toss the record on the side of the table and didn't even think about putting it back in the sleeve. Yeah, that really just kind of makes the record's life very short, unfortunately. But then when you're a kid, you don't really think about that stuff. So, 12 people, 5 views. kind of sad. 20 minutes left, and we didn't even hit 20 people today.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's some drama going on.
I don't think it's just my channel, because I have heard other YouTubers say the same things. One channel said the problem is that the YouTube shorts are destroying the rest of YouTube, as though everybody wants to focus on shorts, and so people are not interested in watching the live streams as much or longer videos that much. And at the same time, YouTube has also basically doesn't realize they're affecting the core of their business. I don't know if you've seen the same thing with your own Discord. I mean, your own live shows. But have you been seeing less viewers on yours?
On mine?
Yeah.
No. I think I've had more, but it's really hard in this community, Michelle. I tried to go live and talk politics, and it went straight back to the drama, and it wasn't anybody's fault. It was I just didn't know what to talk to people about.
That's okay.
That's what people are, interested in, is this drama on YouTube, and I could care less. I really could.
By the way, I didn't ask you this, but what is your daughter's sign anyway?
She's Scorpio, like her dad.
Oh, okay.
Her birthday's coming up here, so.
Well, Gidgey Scorpio, she's very intelligent, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Gidgey.
Yeah. So, more than likely, your daughter will be more likely working in the adult in some business, or maybe an executive or an assistant to executive. She's going to have the skills, the talent, and the smarts, just like Gidgey. And that's a good thing. She's going to be the kind of person that she's going to be Scorpios are very successful as that area, but they do have the private side. They don't publicly show. So you will always see that. Yeah, so anyway, back to what I was saying is, the thing is, I think that it's a YouTube thing right now, whereas everybody wants to focus on the shorts. The shortest videos of the shortest videos. You can do a regular YouTube video for 1 minute, and it will nowhere get the views that a 1 minute short can get. Because YouTube has really been pushing the shorts. And some members of the board of directors are seriously wondering if that's really what YouTube should be doing. Because they're actually sabotaging the rest of their business. Because YouTube wanted to be another TikTok. Facebook, they tried the same thing. And Facebook said for Facebook that it was killing the business. I never really got much into Facebook longer videos anyway. I never only did 1 or 2 of them. I did a couple live streams on there, but it's just not a thing for me. Facebook just doesn't have the kind of audience that I'm trying to engage with. So
Facebook doesn't have? Or they do have?
Well, they don't have the kind of audience that normally would appeal to my content, and because their audiences seem to be more like what goes on in the Boyd. They're kind of looking for more of the hot, steamy stuff, or the
interface. It's about this drama,
right?
Drama. And talking about horrible news things, horrible news stories. If you sit in that energy for too long, man, you become that energy. Those people are all toxic.
It's like when you marinate a steak. It's like marinating a steak in piss and shit. You know what it's going to taste like, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! It's going to start tasting like piss and shit.
I never understood why these people, they would they want to just sit there and argue with each other. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's ridiculously low in like intelligent level, calling each other names.
Right, but that's
it's worse than elementary school kids.
But at the same time with daytime TV lately, like the Ricky Lake show, so many other shows where all they do is they scream at each other and yell at each other. And I mean, I'm not even talking about The View, which does the same thing.
But when that stuff first came out, it was shocking. It was new. Like everybody should have evolved from that by now. It's so done. Now it's actually boiled over into these channels where they're encouraging people to act like idiots. They're encouraging kids in school to fight each other, record it, and upload it to these fight channels. Yeah, I report those whenever I see
what
one.
It does is it's actually making the kids definitely become doing the quote Me Too. And I don't mean too as what the original meaning of what became, but I mean the real meaning of Me Too. Copycat. Oh, I like that idea. Me Too, do the same thing. I'm going to get millions of views. So, really? How long before your audience basically pops you like a hot potato because you're repeating everybody else's content? You got to be unique. If you want to be successful in this industry and have long-term yields, you got to be unique. You got to have content that's going to bring people to your channel. You know, it's a kind of content. It's like a fine wine. You have to build it up, the content. But if you create a Me Too channel, all you're doing is it's like you're making the same shit everybody else is making. If you want quality, I mean, that's just like a well-crafted lager beer, right? You don't necessarily pour in the same water, the same barley, the same hops, and the other ingredients like everybody else's beers do. You find the finest ingredients, the best quality. Your beer may cost more, but at the end, you're going to have your loyal drinkers that are going to be very happy with your beer. It's the same thing with the YouTube content. Good quality ingredients make good YouTube channels.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like with the drama in the community, people don't realize that their channel will never grow any bigger than this community. That's it. Because normal people that come over here, you might get one or two new people every once in a while, but it's not, people don't want to be in this drama. They don't want to get involved, and it gets old.
And not only that, but there's already so many channels in the drama community. It's oversaturated. The market is oversaturated. There's no room for another one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think when I watch it now, if I catch it, usually I will mute the panel if and I'll just look at the chat and see what they're talking about. But they're like a bunch of monkeys. Throwing shit at each other. That's what I think.
That's exactly what the drama channels are.
It's like perfectly. Me smarter, me channel better. Go away.
Because the problem is that way the algorithm works is they're encouraging people to be like monkeys throwing shit at each other because they don't really give those channels that are more cerebral, like we are right now. We're more of a cerebral channel, and they don't really welcome us as much because we make their heads hurt.
Drug addicts and alcoholics get. I guess that's the drama community. People that are on drugs.
The drug heads and the soggy heads are primarily of the drama community. And also the sick in the heads.
Yeah, I was looking at, because I'm very curious about the Cyrax community, right? I was in that community. I wasn't in it, but I watched it for a little while. And it didn't take me long to figure out that it's just a bunch of people that are obsessed over making fun of some guy. Right? Setting them up, using them for content. We see that with Rick Barry, too. So I started looking up what would make people obsess over somebody. And a lot of it has to do with like abandonment issues. Like, you know, they get comfortable and they, you know, they have a good thing, and you know, it's almost like a love thing.
And don't forget too that
they try to hold it too close, huh?
A lot of these drama channels are actually kind of a carryover from cliques from middle school. Think about it.
From what school? From
just like the cliques in middle school. You know, you have your one group that doesn't like some of the other group, the other one that may like, they may not like anybody that's part of another group, or it's just a carryover of that into their adult age. It's like they never got out of middle school.
Actually, I think they reverted. I think a lot when a lot of times, like, you get like a mental illness, if you think about it, like depression, or you go back to like a comfort thing.
Right.
And like, and you don't, like, I don't know, it's like we regress or something. Yeah, I did it too. When I was severely depressed and on here, I didn't do a lot of the shit that these people said I have done. But, you know, I would get really upset over real stupid shit, like, you know, you would when you were 10, 11, 12 years old.
I never really did that, though. Because, I mean, we're talking about high school comparison. I mean, I'd love to go back to high school, but not for the cliques, but because of the intellectual education of the teaching and the learning of subjects and having the positive educational. My mind craves knowledge. I love learning. I need to be emotionally and educationally stimulated. And I think that's something a lot of people do wish, but some people think of high school simply were, I think of the groups, the cliques, the jocks, nerds, all these. Yeah, okay, but you ever wondered what the nerds are like in private? I was in the nerd clique. Let me tell you something. We don't normally get into the other stuff that the jocks and the chatty cheerleader groups did. We tended to stay. We'd go, for example, to Mr. Johnson's, I think it was his teacher there. We have his computer set up, open his homeroom so we could all come in. We would all sit down in the Commodore 64s and the Commodore PETs, and we start designing programs before school started, and that's what we did. We enjoyed, no, it's Mr. Anderson, that was his name. Anyway, I had him for a math teacher later on, but the other thing was, I was the only one that actually was allowed to start up the mini computer, okay? So the PDP-11 is the one I would start up in the morning, but none of the nerds in the room were into what the jocks and the cheerleader groups were saying. We were like, and they would look at us weird, like, what are you guys doing for fun? That looks like a boring job. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just writing a program on the Commodore 64 to, do some graphics right now, but then mostly got to copy some discs over on the PDP-11. That was what we did. We didn't care about the nerds or the jocks. We just we were the nerds. We were the smart ones. That's what we did. To me, that's why I love school. I love the education. But I did not like the cliques. I'm sorry. The one thing I hated in the morning was the cliques. Dealing with the cliques. That's what the drama community is. So when you got the equipment, the cheerleaders and the jocks, and they sit there and they're talking bad about the nerds. Did you ever realize the nerds are the ones that keep your lights on? Yes. We're the one that keep your phones working so you can talk shit about us, right? Yeah, you don't even realize that.
I don't ever remember.
Oh yeah, you got your freaks too, which is another group. I didn't even get into the freaks. The freaks.
I was a little bit of a nerd.
They're not even a group. They're the loners. They're the really weird ones. So just nobody deals with the loners. Not even nerds. Although the nerds are more willing to usually come up there and at least offer them an olive branch to talk to them. And sometimes they will welcome in, but most of the time the real loners tended to stay to themselves. And I mean, I'm mostly an introvert, like most of the nerds. So when we were in this group in Mr. Anderson's homeroom, we were still kind of in our own little world, doing our own little projects. But we would sometimes go over and help the other person if they were working on something on the computer and they need to figure out a certain routine. But most of the time we stay to ourselves. I don't know much about Cyrax enough, other than his mouth looks like that of a sea lamprey. I mentioned that before, and people keep forgetting I said that. Has a very interesting dental condition, that's for sure.
What about Cyrax?
Yeah. And I guess Botrix reminding you about the story, but we need to give Botrix more than just passing a URL. We gotta get Botrix to actually give the...
Wait, Michelle, let's give a lesson here, because I think this MGMT is a kid or just a severely mentally ill moron. It's BULLIED for bullied.
Bullied. You're done with Cyrax.
This MGMT person here, they're saying you.
Oh, okay. I don't know who that is. I
don't care what anyone says. That mentality of what they do, that's a bully mentality. When you have hundreds of people.
She has a chat screen. She has a chat screen. She can see it already.
But I'm not saying that he doesn't give it right back. Like, he interacts with it. He can end it any time by getting off the air.
Well, I don't know anything about MGMT, though. I don't know anything about this person, really. I mean,
I gave them a spelling correction. You know, they said bullied, like BOO. I'm letting them know.
Okay. Yeah, they spelled it wrong. Yeah, that's okay.
Bullied.
But I mean, the thing is that as I got older, I developed a little more empathy for the less liked people. That are not liked because of something they can't control. But then even them on YouTube, instead of trying to improve their status on YouTube, decide to do things that are even more shocking or more revulsive. And that's not exactly helping their cause either. But they realize it's the shocking and repulsive nature is what's getting them the views.
Who? Like YouTubers, you mean?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Anywhere. The more shocking, the more repulsive. I mean, and they keep one-upping it, right? Like, so back years ago in the drama community, the worst thing that could have happened was your name got out. And then it got to your name and address. Then it got to family members. Then it got to sending pizzas. Then it got to
police. Then it got to possibly having someone confronting you in public on the street.
That's where it's at now. So it continuously gets worse because we allow these channels to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you have hundreds of people going after somebody, whether it's warranted or not.
Why was MGMT timed out for? What did they say that was really wrong, guys? They didn't say anything really wrong. Michelle is develop empathy for the disabled. Well, so what? So I did. Is that a wrong thing to say I have empathy? No. I have empathy. I understand that. But you're right, Leo. Unfortunately, everybody is trying to up one because they want the views. They want the clicks. There's only so many people in the audience that's going to watch the shows. Just as there is only so many people in your show that's going to watch the shows. But we all are competing for the same number of eyeballs.
I'm not.
Especially in the live shows.
Number of eyeballs. I don't want these eyeballs anymore. These people are messed up, Michelle. I have been all over.
Oh, I know. That's one of the reasons. Another reason I want to do. That's one of the reasons why I really do more videos. Anyway, it's because number one, the one with the messed up eyeballs are less likely to watch it, but the ones that are a little more knowledgeable. The ones that want more substance are going to likely view the content. If anything, that really separates the wheat from the chaff. You don't do a live show, and everybody that's the chaff leaves. And the wheat that remains are the ones that your most loyal viewers that want that kind of experience, if you know what I'm saying. They enjoy knowledge. But even though sometimes they would like to say, I'd like to see what you're like when you're not scripting everything up ahead of time. That's why we like live shows. That's fine. I don't mind doing a live show in the morning. That's what I've been doing for at least since 2020. Since this whole big pandemic crap started, that was why I started. Was because I couldn't do any more at the soup kitchen. Because there was no longer a soup kitchen. And even at the soup kitchen, most of the time, I was doing videos. Occasionally, I would do a live stream. So that's why we still have this as a carryover from the days of the pandemic. And people know that. And then, of course, I know, like you said a couple times, oh, is anybody streaming right now? Could anyone go live right now? And it's like, you do enjoy it because, yeah, you like the dynamic nature. But for people that are, Virgo, we're not going to go for necessarily for the dynamic nature. We want substance and we want content that makes sense. It engages our
Well, that's
mind.
why I usually ask Red, because Red knows my likes and dislikes. Like, I don't like the drama, but there are a few channels that they do have some drama, but it's not, it's like they talk about, it's more about like a battle of the wits of like government
right.
things, like that kind of drama. Like when you're sitting on panel, making fun of the way somebody looks and you're not cammed up, or
right. That's
threatening somebody, that you're going to call their, that to me is very asinine, and that to me, everybody in there should.
How you doing, Krista? Good morning.
And not give them any more support.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing is encouraging it to keep going.
Where would you say my show fits into the general paradigm of the live stream shows? I mean, it's not quite stupid slapstick drama. It's not super cerebral. It's kind of cerebral, but it's not super cerebral.
Your channel?
Yeah, where do you think my channel fits in the general?
I think it depends on who you have on panel. And that's kind of why I like your channel. Because it's not the same. You do gaming, you do music, you do political stuff. We talk sexual things. I mean, there's a whole range of things that we can talk about. And it just depends on who's on panel.
I keep things shuffling around a little bit.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. I like that.
And that's one of the reasons why I never could come up with a perfect title for the live streams. I mean, besides live streams are dynamic, they change. I could come up with a title for live stream, U.S. economy, the reality, then all of a sudden the next thing you know, we're talking about someone's reproductive organs. And it's like, how does reproductive organs got to do with the economy? I don't know. Maybe the person is complaining that they can't get a proper gynecological exam. I mean, that's what's just called chill zone. Because you never know what you're going to get. I mean, sure, at the end of the show, I could rename it if I want, because then I have an idea what we covered. But even then, it's such a long show that by the time I'm done, it's like, but we didn't just cover interest rates. We didn't just cover one thing. We did cover high school clicks. We did cover the state of YouTube right now. So what would you call it? And you only got about 80 characters to do it in for a title. But if it's too long, it's going to scroll off the screen, and then no one's going to see the whole title. It's another thing I keep in mind.
I still think it would be better if, like, even if it was just the first thing in the morning, you went and looked like the top news story. You titled your streams that, and then we talked about that, and then you moved on to something else. I think that would help a lot too with people. Like, I don't know. I again, Michelle, I'm more intellectual. I like topics. I like talking about things. I like to be prepared.
Well, let me answer one thing about Dimitri. Dimitri, there never were witch burnings in the United States. There were witch hangings, but we never burned anybody at the stake in the United States. Never. At least not for that. Thank God.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? In the Salem witch trials?
No, we hung them. We didn't burn them. 200 years ago, you were burned.
What is a myth?
I was burned alive at the time of Rouen, France. I was actually Jean d'Arc. Thank you very much. Heck, then that was in the 1500s, guys. I wasn't even in the United States. I was hung in the U.S. But I never was.
You were burned in the 1500s?
Well, you weren't hung in the U.S. You were burned at the stake in Rouen, France. Yeah, and then in 1842, you were shot cold dead, point blank range. Right. So that was not a hanging. That's right. That's not a hanging. So where was the hanging? Then you were raped and shot in France again at the time of occupation of Paris. Right. Boy, for the last few lives, you sure lived short and suffered, didn't you? Yes, I did, unfortunately. I mean, that's a really sad reality. But we didn't actually burn anyone at the stake in the United States. I think we would say we became more civilized, but unfortunately, with the whole idea of the witch hysteria of the time of the Salem witch trial, which was perpetuated by, unfortunately, the Protestant Church of all the things. Because if you ever look at history, except for Jean d'Arc, you don't see anyone in most Catholic communities. They didn't even do that. It was primarily under the Protestant Reformation that happened. More in the Protestant communities did the burnings. In Germany, for example. Most people didn't know that either. It's true. There's your history, people. Go Google it.
Oh, yeah!
Keep studying. But make sure you understand the history books are written by the victors, not by the losers.
Oh, yeah!
Which means they can be very biased.
Oh, yeah!
So keep studying and keep learning from all viewpoints. Well, we have the same kind of crap going on YouTube every day, don't we? You got some people being forcibly removed by community people. Ostracized. Remember the story of the Scarlet Letter? Mm-hmm. She had to wear the letter A on her clothes because she was guilty of adultery. And after a while, she began to accept the letter A on her clothes and said, you know what? So what? Let's see. Michelle always gets taken to the soul cube on the moon to live the life of suffering life over and over again. No, I chose that experience to better myself and to learn more about the human nature and the way the human mentality has become. I believe for some reason, I guess I must be deep down, I must be a masochist. I mean, really, I hate to say that. Maybe it's true.
Well, you know, they say we learn our lessons through the hard times, not the good.
Right.
So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely think if you would go ahead and take the equivalent on the other side of the international correspondence course, you're not going to have the actual experience. But when you actually come to Earth and actually have to roll up your sleeves and actually deal with the muck, the reality, and what's going on, that gives you a better first-hand experience. It's just like if you go to school to learn a course, say, in, engineering, okay, and you say, okay, I studied a school textbook, I studied all the course material, I am now certified to work in the engineering field, and all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah? Have you actually been on the actual field where you actually have to deal with a boss that yells at you because he wants the job done a certain way? No? Then you're not ready. You're not ready. Come talk to me when you've been working in the field for about 5 years. Then you can tell me your training's fully certified as an engineer. There. That's the thing to remember, guys. You can be book smart to be real world stupid. Most people don't think about that. Just because you learn something from a textbook doesn't mean that you have real world experience. Real world experience is getting into the trenches and dealing with the nitty gritty, the bugs, the mosquitoes, the mud, the irate boss. That's when you get real world experience.
The latest
Everyone's just being, what's this now? The Big Bang isn't true. Scientists are kind of wondering about the Big Bang. Pharaoh, I don't know if people really think about it, but the Big Bang, there's a couple of flaws in the logic of the Big Bang. But yet the Big Bang seems to be the most feasible option, but some scientists are coming up with alternative viewpoints of how the universe came into being. Some of the ideas is some of the stars and stuff were actually, some of the universe crossed over from another dimensional plane. Information already just passed through the plane, the cosmic membranes, at a higher speed that some of the stuff just was already built and just blasted through the membranes of the brain theory. Not just a singularity, but many singularities. But that doesn't make any sense either, because that would imply that there had to be somebody that got the whole event to start in the first place. That as we see our universe is expanding, our universe is still growing. Could we eventually get so big that we burst through from this membrane into the next membrane? Yes, I would say it's possible. That may be true. But don't ask me to try to explain how that all would work without basically making your head explode. Just accept that's what is being taught right now among some scientists. Yeah. If the Big Bang Theory is real, then Jesus is a liar. No. Because, for example, just as St. Thomas Aquinas said in Summa Scholastica, he said there was a first mover. And he had to create the first product. How come is, where did he get the products? And where did he come from? So, for Lord says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Okay. Alright, Yahweh, where'd you come from? He didn't come from this universe, because this universe, like the earth, didn't exist yet. He came from another universe and transcended into this one and bringing with him the basic blocks that he needed to get this universe started. Think about it. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Some materials, for God was the singularity. God was the singularity, and he brought the hydrogen, and of course he brought the match. And he's the one who started the fire, caused the explosion of the Big Bang. But you can't start with nothing, so he brought with him materials from his dimension, from the other plane. So he's a singularity who brought the groceries. Why wouldn't you consider space? Space is infinite. Yeah, because there doesn't seem to be a maximum number of membranes in the membrane theory, which is a variation of string theory, which still implies that the universe, that is the meta universe, the big Kahuna universe, we're just slices of that universe, is to our ability to comprehend is infinitely huge. There can be an infinite number of membranes and cosmic strings. How do we know how many there are? I don't know. I can't even visualize the size of that. Right now, I can barely visualize living in a city the size of Hartford or the size of city or even Torrington. And you want to talk about something as big as our existing universe? My head goes swimming, really. But Jesus is the Son of God, for he says, I am the Son of Man, but my Father is not me. For I am not my Father, and the Father is not the Son, and neither is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit, who is the acting force, is really Mother God or Mother Asna, which no one talks about except the Canaanites, which worship both the Father and the Mother God. Asna, which also from the literal translation of Shira, means the heroine, just like Shira, Princess of Power, which is named after, believe it or not, Mother Asna. Most people didn't know that. Okay, well,
we should all have a religious talk with Noodles. Noodles is really good talking Bible.
Yeah, he is. He's also is both raised up in a religious system that highly focused on Bible teaching. I'm Roman Catholic. I was born and raised Lutheran, so I got some of that sola scripture stuff. But I know that sola scripture doesn't solve everything. So, even at 5 years old, I wanted to become a Catholic. So, I went ahead and I made a goal for myself. And I kept it. I said, when I become 21, 23, I'm leaving this Protestant church and I'm going back to where our church became from, the Roman Catholic Holy Apostolic Church. And I did. I didn't even finish my confirmation in the Lutheran Church. I finished that in the Catholic Church, and I'll tell you, I am still downright proud to be carrying the cross of the Pope. Sorry, it's true. I definitely think that there is a lot of things out there in the universe that we do not know.
Of course.
And we
don't
to
even
keep
know
learning.
anything really about our oceans.
We don't know a lot about your oceans. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. I think we know more about space than we know about the ocean.
You're right. They said that. That's been quoted. And now, we still don't know what's going on in the deepest depths of our oceans. How do we know what's even down there? How do we know, for example, that the biggest shark, Megalodon doesn't still exist? I'm talking about the shark there. The world's biggest shark may still exist in the deepest of the oceans. We would never know. Things that we thought that didn't exist anymore, like the giant squid. We found the giant squid. They still exist.
Don Camillo.
How do we know we don't have mermaids? Real mermaids. We don't know. We don't know all the oceans yet. The problem is people keep thinking that everything we see in the book is it. See, that's where again sola scripture comes in the same way, right? Well, the Bible doesn't say that, then they can't be true. And then science says, wanna bet? Wanna bet? Yeah, it's true. 100% true. The Bible...
Right, Michelle, here's a question that you might be able to answer. We have to have space suits to go into space because if we go into space, we'll freeze to death, right?
We freeze to death and we
no
also
oxygen.
suffer from spontaneous decompression.
Okay, isn't that kind of the same thing that would happen if we went down into the ocean, or is it worse?
Water in the ocean is extremely heavy. That would be spontaneous compression. Like what happened with the Kursk.
Oh, so that would be
what happened with that other little miniature submersible where everything
so we can't
is...
build a suit that would withstand that, or withstand that? They can't build a suit?
Well, think about a standard nuclear submarine. If you see how thick the walls are to deal with the atmospheric pressure of the water pushing down on you.
Mm-hmm.
Those ships' hulls are at least several inches thick. they have to be to survive the pressures of the environment.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, well, in space, it's the opposite. We're the ones that are pressurized, and space isn't. So what the space want to do? It wants to seek its own pressure, which is lower. And when you get something that's pressurized outside in space, it's going to equalize, which means your blood vessels, your vital fluids, everything is going to come shooting out of every orifice of your body to explosive decompression. Never mind the fact it's absolute zero, which means that you will freeze to death instantly. So you'll freeze before you experience the pain of dying.
Ugh. Could you imagine how many bodies and things would be down at the very bottom? Do you think there is a bottom?
There's a lot.
You think there is a bottom, or you think it's just the ocean connects to the ocean?
Just the ocean connects. You mean the bodies? You mean like the water bodies of the creatures and stuff that got buried, that fell to earth? Or when they see like fish that used to live and then decompose and fell to the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah.
No.
Well, I guess there would have to be a bottom, right? Otherwise, our
where do you think
wouldn't
fossil
be stable.
fuel comes from? You're burning dead corpses. That's what fossil fuel is.
Dead corpses?
Yes. Dead life, dead animals, dead plants. You're putting dead animals in your gas tank every time you drive.
I know that. I guess it makes sense because you get that stuff from the earth. So.
Right. And that was all the dead animals in life from millions of years ago that got compressed and squeezed down into the oil and the coal. And some became gaseous or natural gas. That's what we've been burning in our homes.
Look at that. You're using the bot that I tried using in Discord, and everyone's like, they're going to time me out. You got to get rid of this bot.
No one's going to time you out.
That bot, Rex, it says you leveled up. What does that mean when it levels? How do you level?
It's a way to encourage people that are very much in being top of the chat. I mean, look at me in the bot. I'm only on this bot. I'm only level 1, guys. Yeah, because you don't talk much. Yeah, you don't type a lot in the panels. You type a lot. You speak more in the show than you type.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I'm here to talk to you, and if I type in the chat, generally you don't see it.
So don't worry about the leveling up, guys. It's some ways for some people like to see a higher number. Hey, I'm level 5. What? You're level what? 1? And you're the channel owner. Yeah, well, I don't talk a lot. I'm not on panel. I do type at them, but I'm more on panels talking than typing most of the time. Except on Kick when we're doing Silvermoon Radio, then I'm doing more typing than talking because I don't want to interrupt the music. Dimitri says, when I say certain things bordering on what Alex Jones say, I get error in chat panel too. I don't know. That could be something on the YouTube side of things too. YouTube is very sensitive about certain things being said. They got whole teams of humans and bots roaming every live stream. You don't know this. That's why you got your limits and your dollar signs. Because it's the bots that roam all the live streams, watching, lurking, to see. And by the way, they don't count as views either. Those are they're supreme bots. They go through the minute you talk about certain topics that they find offensive or you play music. That's when they'll do things like silence your show, kick you off your show, because they don't want certain things being said. That's why you get limited no ads, is because the same thing. These same bots will determine that if they think a certain content is not acceptable for advertising, The humans can review it and say to the bots, hold on a minute, they don't agree with that, But most of the time, that's what happens. You've heard of the Google moderation team. The Google moderation teams are real people. That's a real team. But
I don't think it is, because I tried like hell, and the first real people that I got in touch with were all the way in Pakistan, and they weren't doing anything about moderating. I think the moderation in Google is all AI.
It's all being done by AI. But remember right now, Israel has a lot of influence in Google. Israel has a lot of influence in Google because a lot of them are the investors that make Google run. Let's see. I think your claws are sharp, my kitty. Come on. What? You got your claw out of there. Get your claws out. He's trying to get his claws out of this couch. He's got his claws. Well, he got him out. He's trying to sharpen his claws, and he got stuck.
Yeah, I got my animal's claws. But all right, Michelle, I gotta go. I gotta go get my kid in.
Everybody, I want to thank you all for this extra long show. Thank you for coming, Leo. Do you think this sound worked better before? I didn't hear you say we're getting an echo problem anymore.
It worked fine. I didn't hear no echo or anything. So whatever you did, you fixed it.
Yeah. Well, let's just see if it stays that way. Okay.
Hopefully.
All right.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later. Okay, so everybody, here's the plans for tonight. Technically, it was the woman's night. It was the woman's night anyway. So we did have news come up too. So 8 o'clock tonight, Wednesday. Him buddy is supposedly gonna play with us, Kitchy. If you want to join us in Turtle Wow, you can play with us. If nobody comes, just record something on the gameplay. Like Wiggy said, she'd like to see more of Sims 3 and Sims 4. I do want to work on Sims. Also, because I'm on High Sierra, I have installed the Windows version of Sims 3. Includes Katy Perry's Sweet Treats expansion. I kind of want to play that a little bit too, because Katy Perry would be kind of cool. Because I don't really get what a Katy Perry and what it is with sweets, the Californication, whatever it is. Boy, that sounds dirty. Californication. Ew. But for right now, guys, go out there, have a good time. And I will see you all tomorrow from 10 to 12, because tomorrow is hair day. So that means that we have to be ending a little earlier.
Oh yeah!
And I have to go to the ATM and get the money for the hair too. So that too.
Oh yeah!
But for now, I wish you all have a good night, and I'll see you later on today or tomorrow. So whoever's going to come on the WoW Good to play WoW, we'll try to get together on Discord at 8 o'clock. For the rest of you, see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, guys.